Out to coach and pre-profile. Number 3 is taking time out to customer service. And number 4 is taking time out to team build. These are things that you absolutely want to track. I want to get your mindset in the mindset of a professional, okay, because you are owning your own business now, so we want to be a professional. So think of a lawyer at this point, okay? I want you to think of a lawyer and he's in a courtroom and he is, doing his thing, okay? If his wife calls and wants to talk to him about what they're going to have for dinner, do you think that he's going to stop doing his courtroom thing to take his call from his wife? Okay? So this time has got to be uninterrupted, scheduled time. Now, if he's in his office, he's scheduled that court time, he's in that court time, unless it's an emergency, he's not going to get interrupted, right? Okay? So this is how I want you to look at your Mary Kay business. So I want you to schedule uninterrupted time to do these 4 things on a daily basis, okay? And look at your business really as a business and stop just thinking about it. And what's really great is when you take this time to do these 4 things on a daily basis, you're going to be able to, when you're not doing Mary Kay, not worry about it, because that's going to be done then. Okay, does that make sense? All right.
Can you say the 4 things again, please?
Booking, coaching, pre-profiling,
Okay.
customer service, and team building. Okay? All right, so here's the thing. I'm going to encourage you to take half-hour time slots to do each one of these, which would be 2 hours a day. 2 hours a day to work your Mary Kay business. Now, if you can't do 2 hours a day, then it's 15 minutes per thing a day. Okay? Now, if you're a high I personality, which is my personality type, doing 2 hours of, or in my case, 4 hours because I'm a director, of solid stuff. Okay, I'd rather chew glass than do 4 hours, okay? And so, because our minds are just whatever. So if you are a very detailed personality, though, this is perfect for you. You're going to love, okay, I've scheduled this in, this 15 minutes, this half hour, and there are no I've scheduled the no interruptions, I've made sure of it, and I'm going to do, and she's going to do them back to back to back. So just depending on your personality style, or when you have time. If you work another job, then if you get an hour lunch break, do a half hour there and do a half hour wherever. You know what I mean? That kind of thing. So you figure out where it is that you can throw this in so that you can actually work your Mary Kay business and know that you're working and feel good about it. Doesn't it feel good like when you make a list of stuff to do and then you get to cross it off and check mark it? Doesn't that feel good? That's what this is intended to do. This is intended to give you the freedom of, okay, I know statistically if I just do the activity, the results will come. Right? Right. And we all know that. It's when we're not doing the activity, but we're expecting the result, that insanity starts coming in, right? Okay, because that's the definition of doing anything crazy over and over again and expecting the result. So, I want to give you a little bit of a rundown on what kind of results that you can expect by doing just work in your business, okay? So, I want you to think about doing this 5 days a week. Every single day, 5 days a week, planning it out. Now, again, depending on your current situation and where you want to be and what you want to do, I'm thinking the results that you can get in just a 2-hour time frame versus working another job 8 hours are huge. You know, you can get this done. So you have to, number 1, get rid of all of your other distractions, block it out, nobody can get to you, do it so that you're like in your car, whatever it is that you've got to be, or you're not going to be like sidetracked, okay? So for me personally, because I am a high personality, when I started doing this, I was like, oh, you know, I had to literally get out of my office and go into a different room and kind of seclude myself because everything in my office was a distraction because that's how my brain works. Okay, so I had to leave and go somewhere new, so I felt like I was in my office or in whatever. So I don't care if you got to get in your car or whatever you got to do, but you'll find. And there's nobody home with me. Okay, so there are no distractions other than what I make up in my mind. So don't tell me about that. Okay, all right. So here we go. Let's just say if you in a half-hour time frame. Do you not agree with me that in a half-hour time frame that you could probably book at least 1 appointment? in a half-hour time frame, that you could probably do that. If you had it mapped out, who you were going to call, what you were going to say, what you were going to do, in a half-hour time frame, you could get at least one appointment on your date book. Okay, right?
Yeah.
So for a half an hour or 15 minutes, so we're looking at weekly getting at least 2 to 3 appointments. If you went down to 15 minutes and did it 15-minute increments, but I'm asking 2 hours every day. That's what I'm just going to go with. You can take these stats and go down if you want to, but I'm going for 2 hours every day. So half an hour booking, half an hour coaching and profiling, half an hour selling, half an hour team building. Are you with me?
Yes.
So half an hour every day for 5 days a week. How many bookings, if you got at least one, would you have by the end of the week?
5.
How many would you have by the end of the month? 20. For 5 days a week. 5 days a week, you would have 20 bookings. Okay? Now let's work with this. Half of what you book holds. How many parties would you have in that month?
10.
What did Mary Kay always ask us to do? She asked us in a week, but whatever. Yeah, but 10. Okay? Now, would you not agree that 10 parties in 1 month is more than you've done in a while?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay? All right? So taking that half-hour time and doing that booking and just focused energy on booking. That's it. Your energy is focused on booking. Okay? That's it. Now, taking the next half hour, and you got to figure that in with your weekly plan sheet when you're going to do that, or your 15-minute increment. Now, even if you went 15 minutes and did 15 minutes of just focused booking, okay, you're going to end up with 2 or 3 bookings in that week. Don't you agree? At least 2, right? Okay? Yeah, you're with me. Okay? So do you see how we're thinking about it all the time, but we're not actually doing it, and we get a booking because it just kind of happens? You know? Or we get on the phone and we're really good and we book for like an hour and then we get like 5 bookings and then we stop because we have those 5 bookings, right?
Yeah.
This is consistent effort. I don't care if you have 20 bookings on your date book. You double book yourself. You keep going and you do this for a month solid. With me?
Yeah.
Okay. So we've got 20 bookings, 10 are going to hold. We're excited. Now, don't you think your energy level's moving at this point? Okay. The other half is when you're going to coach and pre-profile. So now your coaching and pre-profiling skills are getting better. We went over that in the boot camp training tonight. But coaching your hostess on what she can get for free, calling your customers that you have booked these parties with, your customer list, getting that list. Coaching is getting the guest list, taking that focused energy and making sure that you have guest lists for all the parties that are booking. Now, here's the thing. If you're getting guest lists and you have those guest lists, please make sure that you have at least 10, if not 15 people on that guest list. Okay? If you have a guest list of 3 or 4 people, the party's probably going to cancel. Those are the stats that you find out. But if you have a guest list of 10 or more, the party's probably not going to cancel. So get in your mindset that you need a guest list of 10 to 15, if not 20. Okay? Then your parties are probably going to hold. So exciting. All right? So with getting those guest lists, and then once you get the guest list, then you're going to have people to follow up with and all that stuff. Make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Now, when you agree with me that if you are coaching your hostess properly, using that half-hour time to send invites, send evites, you can even text profile, whatever works best for you, you can do that. But don't you agree with me that a lot more parties are going to hold?
Yeah.
If you've taken that time out to... Right. So out of those 20 parties, you may actually hold 15 in the month.
That would be nice.
Wouldn't that be nice? Okay, now, here we go. Another half hour of customer service phone calls. The number one complaint that our customers have is that they are not serviced properly, that they buy Mary Kay from someone and they never hear back from that person anymore, or they don't get a follow-up facial, or they don't, whatever. That is the number one complaint. So we need to fix that. Right? And so customer service phone calls. So scheduling that half hour, and I'm talking when you're doing this that you're focused on, I'm going to customer service. Now, do you not agree with me that this takes a little bit of organization to get yourself together to figure out, but you're your own boss. You are the only one that can I can tell you what to do till I'm blue in the face. But if you don't schedule it and put it on your plan, you're not going to do it. You're going to find a different distraction that's going to keep you away from doing that activity, right?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So, doing that half hour of customer service phone calls, following up with your customers. Now, here's the thing. If you have no one to call, once you start getting those bookings, every 2 days, 2 weeks, 2 months, every 2 days or 2 days after you get someone on the product, you should be calling them, asking them how their skin is doing or how they like the products that they're using. 2 weeks after that, you need to be meeting with them. So there's your booking again, checking with their skin, making sure they're good. And then every 2 months, unless your customer wants you to service them monthly, but there you go, every 2 months. And we're going to go in on how you can organize that out too in a minute. But there's your customer service phone calls, you know, that kind of thing. Any questions so far? You all getting this with me? Okay. And then the last half hour would be on personal team building appointments. Scheduling personal team building, focused energy on scheduling personal team building appointments. Okay. So going back to the results of coaching and pre-profiling, we all agreed that probably it's not going to be one out of every 2 or half of what you're booking is going to hold. You're going to get better stats, right? Going to the customer service phone calls. Let me just give you an example. Don't you agree with me that once you have a customer base, for those consultants that are brand new in the business, it might not be this stats right now, but once you have a customer base, don't you agree with me with that within a half an hour you can probably sell about $100?
Yes.
Don't you think that you could probably do that? If you have a customer base, you could probably sell half an hour, $100 in a half an hour. A half an hour every single day. What does that equal?
$500.
That is $500.
Yeah.
It's amazing when you think of it like that.
Right?
Just hit me.
It's like ding, ding,
Right.
ding,
So
ding.
for a half an hour every day of customer service phone calls, focused energy, no distractions, of customer service phone calls for a half an hour every single day, your average is going to be $500. There is no reason why anybody shouldn't be on this quota sales, standing up here with at least 300, even if you did it 3 times for half an hour a week. Do you see where I'm going with this? Even if you did it 15 minutes every single day, focused energy on customer service phone calls, 15 minutes. Do you see where I'm going? You'll be up here with 250 in retail sales. And that's without doing any parties. Right? Are you all getting the ding ding? I was like, this is just, it's so simple, it's crazy. Okay, this business is not easy, but it's simple. I mean, sometimes you've got to get out of yourself, out of your comfort zone to do the things that you need to do, but it's not hard. It's not, you know what I'm saying? You with me? Okay, so let's talk about interview results, okay? What do we say? 1 out of how many come in?
5.
1 out of 5. 1 out of 5 people that you talk to about the opportunity you come in, okay? So here's the thing. If you did a half an hour of scheduled interviews, if you started booking those, okay, in the beginning the results are going to be just getting them scheduled and stuff like that, but then once you get them scheduled and things like that, you're actually going to go be doing these interviews, right? Okay, so doing the interviews, let's just say you took a half an hour and had coffee or whatever and you did an interview. You did 5 interviews a week. How many recruits are you going to get that week?
1.
How about if you did it 5 more times?
It's silver.
5 more times. 5 more times. Do you see where I'm going? You could have 4 recruits in a month just because you have focused energy on doing the activity for it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Now we can hone you in on your skills to make these things, these results happen as you get going, but don't you agree with me that after you do 5 interviews by yourself or with your director, you should be doing them with your director in the beginning, but after you've done 10 interviews with your director, don't you think you're going to know what you're doing?
Yes.
And if they're back to back to back to back, it's just like a American party, right?
Right.
Are you guys like getting it with me? Because
Yes.
I'm pretty stoked about this. So, I want to give you the income potential that's available to each of you guys if you just started taking the focused energy that I told you about and actually working your business like a business. Are you with me?
Yes.
Okay. So what I want you to do is I want you to take your selling. First thing we're going to do is talk about, first of all, we're going to get, we're going to talk about the parties that you're going to book. So you're going to book at least, 5 parties a week or 10 parties or 20 parties in the month, so 5 parties a week, just say, okay, half of them hold. Would you agree with me that 10 parties is pretty doable in the month?
Yes.
Okay? Would you agree with me? A low average, but we're just going to throw it out there, is $200 a party.
Yes.
That's pretty doable, right? Okay, all right. So let's take 10 parties times $200. $2,000. That's an extra $1,000 in your pocket. right? Are you with me? Are you guys getting on this? Okay. So now let's talk about your customer service phone calls. So now you have $1,000 for a wholesale order, getting you on target for star, quarter sales, and you have $1,000 in your pocket because you've sold $2,000 of this energy. Okay. Now let's talk about your customer service phone calls in addition to your parties. Okay. So you sell how much a week, Dana?
500.
$500 a week just in customer service phone calls. Another $2,000 a month just in customer service phone calls. Are you with me? Okay, so that's an extra what? Another $1,000 towards a wholesale order. You guys all looked at me when I said a $2,000 wholesale order, like what? In a month? Do you just see how you can make that happen? Okay, so that's another $1,000 towards a wholesale order. Now you've got $2,000 towards a wholesale order. You're going to walk across that stage doing this week, month in and month out, and getting that diamond ring. And you have another $1,000. You've got $2,000 by focused 2 hours of work. You've got $2,000 minimum. That's without any team members. That's with just your personal activity. Are you with me?
Yes.
Okay. Now add in a team member. Let's just throw in some team member stuff. Just saying. So let's just say that you personally recruited 2 people. Let's just go with 2, because, you know, why not? Right? Because you're going to do, let me ask you this. Do you not agree with me that focused energy, half hour on recruiting alone, will get you at least 5 days a week, will at least get you 2 new recruits a month?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay? So we know we're going to get 2 new recruits a month. Let's just say one comes in qualified, one does not. Okay? Pretty right? Okay, so one comes in, she becomes active, does a 200, the other one comes in qualified and does a star. Okay? So, let's just say between the 2 of them, one does an 1800, one does a 200. There's $2,000. And in the beginning, you're going to make 4% off $2,000, so what's that?
80 bucks.
80 bucks. As you start building your team, you start making 9% off $2,000, what's that?
180 bucks. Or
Then,
something
thank you,
like that.
thank you. I can't do this. Then, let's just say you have 5 team members now, and they all order 1 month, and you're making 13% off that $2,000. What's that?
Like 260 bucks.
Add that to the $2,000 that you've got, right? You keep doing this month in, month out. Do you not agree with me that you will be driving a free car by June?
Yes.
You'll have 14 new team members, and you'll be driving free, and probably a sales director. Woo! Are you excited about
Yeah.
this? I'm pretty stoked about it. So,
Yay.
let me give you some tools.